The state of California has once again put lockdowns into effect across Southern California. When will the Disneyland Resort officially reopen? And how much has Disney Parks lost since the beginning of COVID-19? We're going to answer all these questions and more in today's brief Disney news update. I'm Heath for the Kingdom Report. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you are subscribed with the notification bell turned on and the thumbs up button is firmly pressed. This not only allows our video to perform a little bit better and be seen by more people, it also allows you to have a vote in the content we do in the future. In a press conference on Monday, the governor of the state of California, Gavin Newsom, said that due to a sharp increase in infections statewide, California is, quote, pulling an emergency brake, close quote. This, of course, impacts the Disneyland Resort and surrounding counties, as Orange County itself, along with most of California, have moved back into the purple tiered category. When it comes to the pandemic, the state of California has a colored tier system, with purple being the worst, red being the second worst, orange being the third, and yellow being the fourth. What does this mean for the Disneyland Resort? Well, for the one section that remains open, which is the downtown Disney District, a couple of things. As things shift from red tier to purple tier, it does indicate that retail, which was at 50% indoor allowances, is now moving to a 25% indoor allowance. If you are a shopping center, 50% indoor and reduced capacity for food courts is now moving to 25% indoor with no food courts. Restaurants are moving from 25% indoor to outdoors only. Places of worship move from 25% indoor to outdoor only. Movie theaters move from 25% indoor to outdoor only. Museums, 25% indoor to outdoor only. Gyms are moving 10% indoor to outdoor only. And zoos and aquariums move from 25% indoor to outdoor only. This will no doubt impact Downtown Disney's already reduced capacity to be further scaled back. The good news on the horizon is that Downtown Disney is expanding beginning in just a few days, as Disney California Adventure Park is acting as an expansion pad for the shopping and dining district. It is opening up Buena Vista Street as part of a flex space to allow for additional dining and shopping to occur. However, now all of that interior dining that they were counting on is being moved outside permanently, and any sort of indoor retail space now has to also figure out how to cap further capacity limits there. This, of course, no big surprise, as just a few days ago, the state of California issued a statement and a new travel advisory for the state, saying, quote, California just surpassed a sobering threshold, 1 million COVID-19 cases, with no signs of the virus slowing down. Increased cases are adding pressure on our hospital systems and threatening the lives of seniors, essential workers, and vulnerable Californians. Travel increases the risk of spreading COVID-19, and we must all collectively increase our efforts at this time to keep the virus at bay and save lives. Close quote. This advisory does urge visitors entering the state to self-quarantine for 14 days, and in addition to urging individuals arriving from other states or countries to self-quarantine for 14 days after arrival, the state's travel advisories recommend that individuals limit their interactions to their immediate household only. Quote, COVID-19 does not stop at the state lines. As hospitals across the West are stretched to capacity, we must take steps to ensure travelers are not bringing this disease home with them, said Oregon Governor Kate Brown. Quote, if you do not need to travel, you shouldn't. This will be hard, especially with Thanksgiving around the corner, but the best way to keep your family safe is to stay close to home, end quote. This, of course, is a travel advisory that the state of California governor, the state of Oregon governor, and the state of Washington governor have come together in agreeing on and putting into effect for their West Coast states. In addition to the governor issuing shutdown orders for indoor dining, houses of worship, and gyms once again, he is also reportedly mulling over a curfew for these affected counties. All of these announcements happening just days after the governor was spotted outside of his home dining with family and friends that were not his immediate household, all going against his own advice to the state of California, his own guidelines. He was called on that during the press conference that he held today by reporters, to which he responded that he's very sorry, and of course, he's only human, and humans make mistakes. In other news, Disneyland and California Adventure theme parks are expected to remain closed until at least March of 2021. Deseret News writer Herb Schreibner pens the following, saying that Christine McCarthy, Disney's executive senior vice president and chief financial officer, said in a recent call with analysts that the company doesn't expect the parks to reopen until at least the end of the first fiscal quarter. McCarthy said that means the theme parks will remain closed until March 2021. Disney has reopened some theme parks, including Walt Disney World domestically, but Disneyland Paris had to close down recently due to a surge in COVID-19 cases there and a subsequent lockdown of the country of France. California released reopening guidelines earlier this fall for Disneyland and other major theme parks of the same size. The guidelines are based off of case levels in various counties across the state, and experts don't expect Orange County in California, where Disneyland is located, to be ready for reopening until 2021. In April 2020, UBS analyst John Hodeluk, who often comments on media investments, said that he didn't expect Disney parks to reopen until at least January 2021. Saying, quote, "The economic recession plus the need for social distancing, new health precautions, the lack of travel, and crowd aversion are likely to make this business less profitable until there is a widely available vaccine," close quote. He said the theme parks may, quote, "regain their recent operating cadence in about 18 months, coinciding with the earliest expectations for a widely available vaccine for COVID-19. Close quote. Disney World ended up reopening over the summer, while Disneyland remains closed due to the pandemic. This, of course, was something that the Kingdom Report predicted early on, that there was a great potential we would not see Disneyland Resort theme parks return until 2021. Unfortunately, it looks to now be confirmed by representatives of the Disney organization. So how bad are things for Disney parks? Well, Disney parks did record a $2.4 billion loss in their fourth quarter earnings report, saying, quote, "Parks, experiences, and products revenues for the quarter decreased 61% to $2.6 billion, and segment operating results decreased $2.5 billion to a loss of $1.1 billion. Lower operating results for the quarter were due to decreases at both the domestic and international parks and experience businesses. As a result of COVID-19, Disneyland Resort and our cruise line businesses were closed for all of the current quarter. Shanghai Disney Resort reopened in May, while Walt Disney World Resort and Disneyland Paris reopened in mid-July, and Hong Kong Disneyland Resort was open for about 2 weeks at the beginning of the quarter and about 1 week at the end of the quarter. All of our reopened parks and resorts operated at significantly reduced capacities during the current quarter. We estimate the total net adverse impact of COVID-19 on segment operating income in the quarter was approximately $2.4 billion. According to Mike at blogmickey.com, he says overall Disney reported a 37% lower revenue in the division when compared to 2019. Of course, due to fiscal 2020 starting in October of 2019, that meant that Disney was able to get nearly 6 months of revenue before officially having to shutter all of their theme parks worldwide, with the two largest revenue generators, Walt Disney World and Disneyland, closing back in mid-March 2020. The real indicator on how much the pandemic has hit the company is in the fiscal quarter 3 and quarter 4 revenues, which are down nearly 75% when compared to 2019 numbers. Beyond that, Disney estimates that the total impact of COVID-19 on those 2 quarters is almost $6 billion combined. Of course, even with all the revenue loss, we have seen huge furloughs and massive layoffs hit the Disney Parks and Experiences business segment, where cast members around the world have been let go from their positions. And here at home, it doesn't look to be getting any better. That about does it for this Disney News Update. For continuing coverage, make sure that you are subscribed to us with that notification bell turned on so you never miss an update. And for all things discussion when it comes to these topics, tune in to Kingdom Report Live this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel. For the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.